This is fantastic. So, as I said, like I do get sentimental with some people. So I had this sort of on and off again boyfriend, back in 2001. North Italian guy, Roman, Angelo Delabio from Perth. Actually, he was studying design as well, funny enough. 2001's a long time ago. Very long time ago. And I'm older. He's about 20 years older than me. Shit. He's going to be about 66. That is one of the letters that he wrote me. I've kept because they were very meaningful. I actually adored this boyfriend. Angelo Delabio from Perth. That's another one. I've got a sort of keepsake. This is back in early 2001 when I was dating Angelo Delabio. I was working at Star Casino. Lovely. And Angelo gave me for my birthday, tied up with a green ribbon in gold wrapping, a flower arrangement. Okay. So this is what he gave me. He gave me the tortured willow. So that's the flower. So I even kept notes what he gave me for my birthday in April 2001. That's the piece of the ribbon that was on the bunch of flowers he gave me for my my birthday. So some people, they pass through your life and they actually have left meaningful, memorable experiences that you can write about. Angelo Delabio is one of them, and that's my birthday card. Oh, there we go. This one's for 2002. There we go. So, yeah. So some people, they pass through your life and they're nothing more than someone that's briefly passed through your life. That means nothing. Other people have passed through your life, and with myself, it's a little keepsake of what, a beautiful momentum of the experience that I had with that person. So yeah, no, I'll picture a car that I wanted once. One of my cars. So yeah. And what's in here? Oh, here we go. My this St. Christopher medal. So one of my cars. Oh, here we go. Another person that passed from my life. Trish Hoppy at work. P.S. You're not ugly. You know I love you. If you don't, Justin, I love you and value your friendship. Thanks for coming into my life. Always. Trish was this fabulous lesbian that I knew from work. There we go. So that was just a little beautiful momentum there. Something else. This is funny. I've actually just got this little. Oh, there we go. I've kept my great uncle. My great uncle Leo Patrick Sayer. There we go. Who did his funeral? Oh, there we go. Yeah. And what I've got. So Nan. So I've got a St. Christopher medal that's really nice. That was mine, but Nan actually had. I've kept it. There's a couple of other medals as well. Okay, these are from my grandmother. My religious medals. All right. Well. All right. Anyway, so I've got this little sort of box of little keepsakes, religious keepsakes, and stuff from my grandmother. And well, this is fun. And some things are just, well, worth never getting rid of. Apparently Nan, when she gave me this St. Christopher medal, There we go. I've got a nice one that I've always had in the car. I never put this one in my car. I always kept it in my bedroom. My St. Christopher medal, I've got to find it. It'll be somewhere in a box. The magnetic one is just silver and gold. This one then said it was your mother's. So when I bought my first car, she gave me this. But I kept it with me, not to have in my car. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so at least I found that. Actually, that's one thing I was looking for. I put it in a photo album. So it's nice. I think that and I'd love doing these posts. Not like mine to get any views because I haven't actually shared them out there, but eventually I might use them. But I think it's nice, like when I go through, like I've kept my photo albums. It's like, and I've kept some like, not doubles. It's like, geez, you can accumulate with my family. You can accumulate so many photos, but the ones that are actually good, like I've kept in photo albums. And I thought, like every time I pack it up and moving, I'm going for the photo albums. I'm like, I just want to have a look at in case I don't want to, because you can't replace photo albums. I was like, I don't want to lose anything, like to do with the photo albums, you see. And so I'll be like going through them, like, geez, this is nice to flip through these old photo albums. And so I was like, this is something that's lost in the generation now, that there is literally a 20-year-old generation of people who have no idea what it's like to have a photo album where you've actually taken photos from from actual camera with film and developed them and had to, sort through them. We'll keep this one, I'm not going to keep this one, put it in the photo album. We're going to write at the bottom of it, this was this date and so forth, and we're here. And you do just a little spool of it. It's actually sort of really nice to sit there. It's before social media ruined everything. And where you'll be flipping through and be like, oh, this photo. And you turn over the photo, it's like, oh, 2nd of February 2001, we had this like I'm just going off one of mine, for example, time at the Fairmont Hotel, and we went, so-and-so, and Yvette Claire did this, or Amanda dropped the drink, like type thing, and it was funny. And you write these sort of little messages on the back of a photo, and it was actually really, it's I think my generation is the end of that. It is the last generation, I know my little cutie, that actually would ever experience that. And it's sad to think that the generations coming up behind me, and I'm 46 this year, will never experience something so simple which has so much meaning. It's lovely. I'll leave the videos there. Look, eventually I'm going to actually utilize these videos as something more than just notes or diary notes and so forth. Put them into, it's a big part of my life as well. And yeah. So, here we go. Someone else that was a very meaningful. Giuseppe Totaro. Yes, Johnny Totaro. Johnny Totaro, I've been friends with since 2001. Forget about this tattoo, people. That's meaningless to me. That was just me being a smart ass to a one night stand. This tattoo here, Fratello, that was for Johnny Totaro. That's his father. Now, when his father passed away, or when his father was dying in hospital, a young man, and I got a phone call from his ex-wife, Michelle Totaro. I was at the airport saying goodbye to my twin sister. She was going to Paris for a holiday. And I got the phone call, and Michelle's like, Justin, can you go see Johnny? His dad's died. I was really close to John back then, when his father passed away. And we're going back so many years now. What are we going back? 2000, it was before me and got married. 2005. 2005. Yeah, it was. It's 2005. I was living in St. Leonard's when his father passed away. Yep. It was actually, that was really sudden because his brother Sam Totaro got married to Louisa. They went together long. I adored Louisa. And they just had the wedding in 2004. And then his dad passed. I remember thinking that because it was not long after. Sam Totaro married Louisa. And then his father passed away. So yeah, so his father was such a liberated Italian who travelled around in Italy. He used to tell me these stories about him travelling around playing a guitar and stuff. He was just this liberated, like not a just very liberal, very like you're fanocco, like you faggot, like something like that. I adored Johnny Tataro's father as well, and of course Johnny Tataro and his first wife Michelle and so forth, and that is like John Tataro's father. It's funny. When I first met them in 2001, even with Sam Delasio, I said, God, Sam, I said, if you ever knew my dad's father, like I showed him photos, I said, you look at dad's father, Stanley Fleming. I said, we don't know what nationality he is. He's an orphan. The documents in Australia that Australia has on Stanley Fleming says that he had no country of birth, no place of birth. I know what Nan told me, Ruby Fleming, and I know what Nan's brother, George Hill, told me. And what nationality George thought he was. But I've seen, Italians have seen photos of my dad's father and said, oh, he's Italian. And so we don't know. What we do know is that he had dark olive skin. Like he does look Italian. But he does look Lebanese as well. That's the thing. Or he does look Greek. He does look Maltese. That's what we say. Funny enough. That's cute. For my dog. See, look at, are you listening to every word I'm saying, cutie? Look at this beautiful thing. So even when we've hung out, so my dad's brother-in-law, so Tony Pincham. Tony Pincham's cousins are Italian in Maryland. So Vince, Sever, I can't think what they're saying. Is it something. Vince, hang on. I can't think of their last name. Starts with Z, I think. Vince, so my cousin's father's cousins are Italian. And even Uncle Tony said, oh, look, Justin, who knows? With your grandfather, Stanley Fleming, could have been Italian. I mean, look at family members on my dad's side. Could have been Italian, could have been Lebanese, could have been Maltese, could have been Greek, who knows? That's why we've all thrown, do you right there, Baxter? We've all thrown different ethnic looks on my dad's side. We all do. Like, you look at Christy Ceruni, okay? Look at, so my dad's younger sister, Aunt Linda, and Uncle Tony, their daughter, Christy Ceruni. Yeah, her look. You look at Meredith, look at Joan, Jeffrey. But we've all thrown different ethnic looks. And it's not done deliberately, even Dad. No, it's not done deliberately. It's just because Dad's father and the way he looked. So anyway. So I remember when I first met him, I was like, oh yeah, well, who knows, could be Italian, who knows. He's an orphan. Like Stanley Fleming's an orphan. I think over the years people have confused that. And I'm like, I know my father. My father, Mark Fleming, lived at Empire Bay as long as my mum's lived in New England. I said, and I know my grandfather, Stanley Fleming. I remember Stanley Fleming well, even though he passed away in, must have been about 8 when he passed away. Yeah, I remember, many times we've popped Stanley Fleming. But he was still an orphan. He was raised by Edith Kavanagh in Botany Bay. So my dad's father, Stanley Fleming, was raised by Edith Kavanagh in Botany Bay. The documents on my dad's father, and we're talking about government documents here, and I'm going to leave it there because I'm going to have one of these videos to be a short video. Dad's father, God, I love this. So I used to really have a good studio. I'm good on the, but I had a good studio set up. The spare room in Rushkitter's Bay was half office, corner desk. Me and my ex-partner shared that. The other part where my bookshelf was design. I had my drafting table set up, my easel set up, so design plus art, and I had the camera set up. So I used to be able to do this as well. And I was trying to, we go back years ago, back in 2012 when I was trying to create, YouTube things then, and doing accounts then. It all got changed. 2015, it stopped everything for me. I'm kidding. Anyway, Australian documents on Stanley Fleming state no country of birth, no place of birth. Dark skin, complexion dark. Okay. Now I know what my grandfather looked like. I could tell you, yeah, he had dark olive skin. Sure. And I know what my nana Ruby told me, and I know what Nan's brother George told me. And years later, I asked Dad's older sister, Sharon. I'm like, oh, Uncle George said this. He goes, oh, I don't know that, but I've got these documents. Do you want them? I'm like, yeah. So she copied documents for me that back up what Uncle George said as well. And I know that Pop was raised by Edith Kavanagh in Botany Bay. So not his parents. So that's what I've got. And that's why I look the way I look. That's not why I know other languages, however, because why I know other languages started with my own religion of Roman Catholic. And I'm going to leave it there. But it did. Started in 1984, plus growing up in an ethnic area around Maltese, Lebanese, and Greek and Italians, basically. That's why. I mean, everybody that used to come to my grandfather, Reginald George Purdy's place, was either Maltese or Lebanese. And you sit around and hearing Lebanese men swear all day, you start picking it up. You know, when they're sitting out the back and Nan's making them coffee, sitting out the back in Kerry Road and you're hearing them swear and carrying on and so forth. As a little kid, you start picking up the swear words first in another language, and I did. You know, the same as all the like the Muskets and so all the Maltese that knew my grandfather. Because we're not from where my mum lives. I've got no problem with that, but I was barely there for 6 years. I came back to Sydney. But the other languages, why I know them, it started out with school on religious education, basically. Leave it there. I'm going to have one of these videos that it's going to be short, so it's not taking an hour to upload.